author Brian K. Morris comes an epic tale of armor forged by a god, a hero forged by courage, and an ancient menace poised to re-emerge and threaten our world. Volcana, Rebirth of the Champion, is available on Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Welcome to Comic Book Spectrum number 10.
Welcome to Comic Book Spectrum, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. Get ready to explore the world of comics, past, present, and future, with our panelists Eric Hawkins, Brian Rodman, and Clyde Hall. And now here's your host, Brian K. Morris.
And good evening. How the heck are you? Welcome to Comic Book Spectrum number 10. Who thought we'd ever get into double digits? Well, hope you're having a good Thursday evening on April 29th, 2021. And this isn't my fez, okay? I had to confess, I'm kind of sort of on vacation right now. And yes, I am broadcasting from where you think I am. Now, you may have the regular pod catheter. You may have the Amy Hale pail. But I've got the deluxe one. It also comes in gold for a mere $1,000. So, but we will be advertising that in the weeks to come. We've got our own merch line. It'll be wonderful. But we had to do the show because we have so much fun, and we hope you will too. And as always, speaking of fun, we want to point you to the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, where you can have all kinds of fun 7 days a week. We've got shows with all kinds of information and entertainment. Please check us out. Check out this schedule here and take a screen capture of it for future reference. You'll be glad you did. Also, check out our Patreon page. These wonderful people support the Rising Tide mission every month for a modest stipend. And then some of these people also have their own Patreon page where you don't just hand us money. You actually get something for it. So please check us out. My Patreon page is www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And you can get mentioned in all kinds of things we do, including these broadcasts. And we also give you works in progress, sneak peeks at stuff, all kinds of cool things. So please check us out. And speaking of checking out, next week I will have a brand new book out. You've heard us mention Bobby Snow, the great Bobby Snow. We're going into hashtag the summer of snow. This year will be no exception. And starting in about a week or so, you'll be able to pick up this book on for your Kindle. It's called Snow Ambition. And it is an adventure of Abraham Snow created by Bobby Nash. And I'm real excited for this thing to come out. And we think you'll enjoy it too. So please keep an eye on that. We're going to have some special episodes about this, and we're gonna have a couple of special episodes in May promoting some things I've got some stuff in, and so some of our friends are doing some cool things too. And as always, thank you to Plasma Fire Graphics for sponsoring this episode. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you because it matters to your readers. That's how you turn a casual observer into your reader and your customer for a long, long time. So please check with Jeffrey Hayes. Check out their Facebook page and also check out plasmafiregraphics.com when the look of your book matters to you. And now let's bring in our amazing panel. As always, so glad to be with these guys. I love these guys so much. I cannot take a week off from the show, I'm telling you. And also, folks, if you're watching us live or on the rerun, we do appreciate you. And please, please, please be sure to respond to this. Give us a like or a thumbs up, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It helps us a lot. And guys, how you doing?
Great.
Doing great.
Excellent, excellent. Eric and I just came out of a convention in Hannibal, Missouri. And thanks to Deb's Loeb for having us to Big River Con. We both had a great time. And Eric, we've got to congratulate Eric, because just like Brian Rodman here with his successful campaign for the Memoirs of an Angel #7, Eric is running a Kickstarter right now for the Zombie for World of Oz #3, and how long did it take you to make your money on your goal on that, Eric?
I believe it was 1 hour and 28 minutes.
You slacker. Good Lord. Anyway, but no, that's
Not that
fantastic.
I was watching or anything, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh no, seriously, I agree with Brian. That is fantastic. Please take a
Thanks.
victory lap, man. You did a great job, and the campaign is still ongoing. Eric, if you want to put in the link to that in the private chat that we have here, I'll try to post it online. Okay, in the comments, and we're looking forward to your comments. As always, folks, we couldn't do the show without you, and we wouldn't want to. And we're going to be going through the comments real fast. And John Scarborough, are we in a bathroom? I don't know where you are, John.
We're all in a bathroom. Like this right here, this is just a fancy bathroom. This is, I've got a lounge for a visitor. This is my toilet. It swivels.
That's at the $7,000 level, and it comes in gold. But John, who is part of Stupid O'Clock, Thursdays, he'll be on later tonight at 9, I hope, and also Saturdays at 11 p.m. on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We were going to introduce that I'm in the men's room someplace, but we thought that could lead to some uncomfortable conversations, but mostly for you guys, not for me, of course. And John Haley on Taco Bell. That's why we keep the other seat real close. I was telling everybody that I am the king of Rising Tide Broadcasting because I'm sitting about 2 feet away from my throne. Michaela Jade says, yay, a new book from Brian. I'm excited too, Michaela. And please check out The Warrior's Secret. This morning, Michaela, Amazon told me I should buy all 3 books. And I think everyone else should too. And Ryan Permisson, happy Thursday. CBS crew, Ryan, thank you for being here. And thank you so much for hosting Nevermind the Furthermore for me yesterday. You were sensational. I mean that sincerely. And tomorrow, Carl Witzman will be on Nevermind the Furthermore, hosting that, setting impossible standards for when I come back Monday, when I'll probably quit out of total shame. But anyway, but no, you did a fantastic job, Brian. I'm so proud of you. And I kicked Brian out of the studio and gave him the bathroom. Just it's okay. I'm comfortable here. I've got a wide stance. And Brian Nance, good to see you, my friend William Quinton. What's everybody? Nothing. We're just waiting on you, brother. And how are my new Facebook friends doing tonight? Well, we're glad that you are our friend, Ryan. You're awesome. We are doing well. And Carl Westman says, I hope Cookie doesn't have to use the washroom in the next 2 hours. We've got trees outside. There's a lot of trees in this complex, so she's taken care of. And Ted Davies Artistry also burning up records with Grim 101.
Grim 101.
Congratulations to you and Lisa Malone for a fantastic campaign that is still ongoing. Please check out Eric's book. Check out Ted's book, all right? And hello, Fab4. Hello to you. Ted and his wife, Chrissy, will be on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network tomorrow night at 6 p.m. with a brand new Drinking with the Davies, and it's going to be fun as always. Oh, yeah. Wow. And Brian Hawkins, good to see you. And Teresa Dunn, mwah, always a pleasure to have you. And what's the Cliff Notes version of what's going on at DC Comics? Are they under new ownership? Cliff Notes, yes. They have been owned for decades by Warner, Warner Communications, Warner, whatever the new iteration is. And then what was it, about a year ago? Warner's was bought out by
AT&T.
AT&T.
Thank you, AT&T. Blanked out for a minute. And the thing is, AT&T has a super huge, multi-billion-dollar debt, and so that's why DC has been doing a lot of restructuring lately. But we might talk about that later. And Jen Thompson of the Indie Author Book Expo says, "No way, Eric freaking Hawkins." Yes, it is the Captain Eric Hawkins. Okay, now why isn't he coming to the expos? I'll let you grill him about that. And where's Brian's hat? The hat and the fez and the bow tie actually are in Cancun right now. They are union. They get the week off. I'm on my own. And
Brian, you should do your best Smee impression though.
Oh yeah, we had something here that I'm sure is a dead ringer for the fez. So.
We told him before the show he looks like Smee from Peter Pan with that thing on.
But you know what now? Now look above us. Does it look like a before and after picture?
Yeah, it does. I noticed that.
I just take a double check on the shirts there. I'm like, wait, is it the same? Okay.
Wait now.
I know. Yeah. Clyde is the before the accident.
Okay.
I am the result of the cataclysm.
So you're the before, and Clyde's the picture after you get out of the bathroom.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Yeah, but where else am I going to get this good a sound? You know what I'm saying? There are recording studios that would kill to have this kind of echo in here. And Jen Thompson says, "Wait, when do I get to come back?" Jen, we got to talk about that sometime for the Tuesday night show. Clever title pending. And Michaela J, that's so cool about Amazon. Thank you, Michaela, so much. And Keisha Acuff, mwah, hello, beautiful you. And hey, Brian, how about a courtesy flush?
Whenever something crazy happens, you should just flush the toilet like a ringer. Just woohoo!
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I give this book. Then maybe Eric can start broadcasting from a toilet too, and he can just see if he can toss that copy of that Walmart comic into
It's still way over there. I didn't even pick it up this week.
Oh, you poor thing. Hey, Comics Talk with Pops Van Zandt. Thanks for being here, Pops. Hey, it actually is Brian K. Morris. Yes, it is, unfortunately. And home relaxing after being at the chiropractor. Oh, you poor Teresa had a fall recently. We hope you're feeling better, hon. And congratulations to Eric from Teresa.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, congratulations to Eric and to Ted. And boy, I got Brian, you'll be glad to know I got my downloads. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Yes, super happy about that. Got some reading to do because what am I supposed to do while I'm here? Work. But anyway,
you're in the prime reading setting right there, right?
I know.
Yeah.
Just crack it open, man. There you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know why. Anyway, so
tonight's show will be very serious, by the way.
Yeah.
A special episode.
Yes, on a very special episode of Felicity. No, we are going to start out as always. Thank you to everyone, by the way, who has liked and loved this show from Facebook and on YouTube. And please join. We are at 490 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm very happy about that. Please bring more to me. And Carl Westman says, the Eric and Ted worked very hard to be where they are today. And in all seriousness, I agree completely. They have done a great job on each of their campaigns. And a special shout out to Lisa Malone for, her part with Ted's. Both of those, the results speak for themselves. Also, the product speaks for itself. They're both really, really, high quality magazines. I'm looking forward to both of them. I have pledged to both of them. And Jen Thompson, okay, who's the better driver out of all four of you? I don't think any of you have ridden with me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's hard to tell. I know that I am a decent driver now.
Same with me now. Teenage years, bad.
Used to be.
Bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this: 2 weeks after I got my license, I totaled my dad's truck because I ran a red light, got T-boned, and went airborne and rolled twice across the highway.
Oh my God.
That happened to me, but not quite the same way. 2
Right.
weeks. It was about 2 weeks after I got my license. It wasn't too long. I was airborne. I hit a speed limit sign. The speed limit sign, those things are actually pretty huge.
Yeah.
Came into the windshield. I hit about 3 feet up.
Oh,
The
man.
4x4 that they're attached to caught the lip of the roof and flipped it over instead of coming in and cut me and my friend's heads off. We went down this embankment sideways so hard that the grass got embedded between the wheels and the tires.
Wow, man.
I still miss that car. This is my 1980 Trans Am.
Oh man.
May it rest in peace.
Yeah.
No, I kept it for years.
And in the distance, you could, if you listen closely in the distance, you will hear the sound of taps playing.
Oh, yeah. So, my younger years, I was a decent driver. Although I went through a period where I didn't have a vehicle, so I had to. When I worked at the comic shop managing that, I had to borrow my employer's truck to go home and see my mother. And it didn't matter what I did, no matter how careful I was, something always happened to tear off the outside driver's mirror. Like I'd run through a bush.
Every time you drove it?
Like, wait a minute now.
Yeah. But yeah, somehow, or something would hit it, it'd fall off. And he was like, "Brian, I'm not going to let you borrow my truck anymore." I said, "Dude, you're getting a new mirror every other month. What are you bitching about?" So,
well, obviously, Clyde is the best driver out of
Yeah,
all of us.
apparently.
that was my default.
Clyde's strategy
Clyde was
here
a
was
bad
just
driver
don't
as a
say
teenager,
anything.
and Clyde never got any better. So, I don't have a lot of accidents out on the road, but if I back up, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to hit something. First thing I hit was a brand new. I had a 74 Gran Torino, and I backed into a just off the new showplace lot new Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do a lot of damage, but enough, that my insurance went. And I've knocked off rear view mirrors. So they're never bad accidents, but I would not consider myself before, currently, or in the future a good driver. So
Clyde Hall, the master of inconvenient wrecks.
there you go.
That's awesome. And Comic Stock Pops fans and CromCon is coming up soon, and enrollment for that will be starting any day now. We'll be pushing them all month. Thank you, Pops. We appreciate that. And Ted, I'm going to get to yours. Yours is awesome. I'm going to get to it. And Cindy Cap, CKOEPP.com. Please check out her newsletter and her amazing website. And check out, she is taking pre-enrollment for her Kickstarter for her very first comic, Animal Line, #1. Mm-hmm. And looking forward to it. That's a great read. I have read it. And hello to you, darling. How y'all? We are awesome, although apparently none of us can drive. And Cindy just realized that. So anyway, and Jen Thompson asked, have you ever loved something you wrote while drunk? No, I refuse to take advantage of a manuscript or the English language when I was ill-prepared to use it to its utmost. So I back in the day when I used to drink recreationally, I did write some stuff. It wasn't a matter of my not loving it. It's just I couldn't read it. It was totally incomprehensible. It's like, close your eyes and I'm suddenly the million monkeys trying to do Shakespeare. So.
Brian's like, move aside, J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm creating my own language now, too.
That's right. You got orcs, I got dorks. We got plenty of them anyway. And Ted
one bottle to rule them all.
That's right.
Yeah.
You shall not pass. Anyway, Ted Davis Artistry says BKM comic or comment dump means something else entirely different tonight. That's right. We're going to take something like that. And good evening, folks. I have been in BKM withdrawal. Well, I am here, and I will be back on Nevermind the Furthermore on Monday morning. But anyway, please tune in tomorrow to Carl Witzman. And thank you for supporting Jody McPhee, whose name will be mentioned again during the show. And thank you to Ryan Permisson so much, guys. Thank you for filling in for me in the morning. And Lord of the Thezes, there we go. I love it. But anyway, we're going to start out as usual with our Quickie Reviews. And who would like to go first?
I'll go. Sure, why not?
Okay.
Before I start, I'd like to show off my hat. I'm going to take it off because it's giving me a headache having it under these these headphones. But while we were at Hannibal,
yes.
Oh, it's so cool.
Mean Chin from the Comic Book Men was there, and he had hats signed by all the comic book men.
Nice.
And Mike signed it on top here. But pretty cool. And I got a picture of him holding my comic, so that's great.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is fantastic.
Nice. That was a good move putting it on your Kickstarter.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Too. Yeah.
I might have been born tonight, but it wasn't last night. So, okay. I bought tons of crap this week.
So did Brian. He's in the bathroom.
This is a Kickstarter I just got. It arrived. It's not late as far as I know. Snow White Zombie Apocalypse. I got to check that out. I haven't even cracked it open yet.
Yeah.
I'll put it back here. And I did get Berserker 2, but I haven't read it yet. But if you bought Berserker 1, they said you could have Something is Killing the Children for free. So I got that as well.
I hear that's a great book.
And that's not the right one. X-Men Legends 3, which I'm still picking up. And this one's not done by Brett Booth and Fabian. It's by the Simonsons. And
ooh.
Yeah.
Walt and Louise?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. I'd buy it just for that.
Yeah. I've kind of thumbed through it. It's not that good.
Oh, well. Break my heart.
But off the heels of my last review from last week, I'm going to review the second issue this week because I did go get issue 2 and 3 of Two Moons.
Ooh,
nice.
Because 3 came out this week and I had to pick up 2, and I love 1. The one thing I've noticed, especially this week, getting so many comics in my hand at one time, the quality of comic books, paper-wise, is not that good. Mine are better than these, which was surprising me. I was like, everything's so thin. There's nothing glossy. And then, especially when I opened up the X-Men book, and the lettering reminded me of Brian's book from last week.
Oh, dear.
Oh, wow.
It's all over the place. Different sizes, different fonts. The art is not what I'm used to from them, but well, it is what it is. I'll still read it. I think they're going to do the next issue as well. But Two Moons number 2 picks up right off where number 1 was, where what was the character's name? I can't believe something goofy. Virgil. It's not goofy. I just don't know many Virgils. But Virgil had just shot his sergeant because he was some kind of demon that only he could see. And he got arrested by the rest of the army, and they're going to court-martial him in the morning. Just like the first issue. I mean, the art is beautiful. I like it. I can't find nothing wrong with it. It's just a good book.
Nice.
Some more pages here. Oh, especially these. When he starts, of course, he comes across some other people, and he starts talking to these weird creatures. So you get the coyote. It's not his grandpa this time. It's just another spiritual creature talking to him, telling him what he needs to do, what he needs to look up in the sky so he can learn about. And I mean, look at these pages. I love them. I love this book. So I'll probably give it like a 2. Then all of a sudden, so he's trapped, tied up to a tree outside because he did shoot his sergeant in the head, and the body drifted off down the river. They don't know where it is, but he tried to tell them to go look at the body. Well, we'd bury him right now, but he's gone. Then the Confederate army comes and rescues him because they saw him shoot the guy, his sergeant, and they come on a horse, not a skeleton horse, though. I was a little disappointed about that. So it's a regular horse, comes in, cuts him loose. They take him back to their camp. Upon going back to the camp, they come across it, and they know they're going the right way because they came across a guy hanging out by himself. Sure enough, it's a guy hanging from a tree who's a little decayed and stuff. And, of course, one of the spirits starts talking to Virgil through that body and tells him he needs to go on a trip. So he's going to be eating some mushrooms later.
Awesome.
Nice.
The book is just as good as the first issue. Another horse, but no skeleton. And look at that. Look at that. Look at the dynamic pose.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean,
The artist there, Eric, has a beautiful Instagram account where he's been posting.
Yeah, we looked at it last week. I
followed him immediately.
His work is breathtaking.
Yeah, it's just as good as the first book. More horses, and I can't draw horses to save my life.
I drew a horse
the redhead here.
Never to do it again.
Over here, that's the nurse from the first issue. She's kind of sweet on Virgil, and one of the other soldiers had to go in town and drop off some dead bodies or something and get some more bandages. And she asked where Virgil was, so he explained to her what had happened. She's only met him once, but she finds it hard to believe he would just kill someone, even though he's a soldier, and that's kind of his job anyway. But you're saying that because he's an Indian. They have a couple variant covers. I picked up this one because I thought it just looked the coolest. The art's good. It's by Image, which I can't believe I'm buying Image books. I keep saying that. I gotta give it a 10 because I really like the series, and I haven't read issue 3 yet, but I probably will later. I thumbed through it; it looked just as good as the other one. Spoiler for issue 3, I already saw that one of the rebel soldiers is one of these demon creatures as well. And, of course, he gets in trouble trying to kill that one. Because nobody else can see these demon creatures but him. Or it might be he just high on the mushrooms. Yeah. But, that's my review. I'm giving it so far a combined 10 out of 10 for issues 1 and 2. I think it's a great book. So,
nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. You make it sound great.
I love it. I can't wait for the next issue.
Oh,
maybe you'll get your skeleton horses in the next issue, buddy.
Yeah, he's got to see some skeleton horses. He's seeing all this other stuff.
I mean, maybe they've got mushrooms sprouting out of them. I think that would be a good idea.
He does eat the shrooms in issue 3. I did see that.
There you go.
Wouldn't
that be bad if at the so anticlimactic if at the end you just find out it was a one big trip?
Yeah,
it might be.
That's
it. Yeah. He was just stoned the whole time.
That's this generation's. It was all just a dream. It was all just a trip. There you go.
Laudanum and shrooms.
There you go. Remember, kids, don't let this happen to you. And Jen Thompson says, Sir Fez, thank you, darling. I missed the Fez already. The Fez will be back Monday morning. Great.
I must answer a question.
Yes.
Why the Image bashing?
Yeah.
Because I was around when Image started.
Yeah, that's.
And I've got a box of Image crap. I can't. And I didn't buy Image for a long time.
Years ago.
Yeah. I mean, everything I'm buying right now, I've liked from them. I can't say anything bad about it at all.
Oh no, and it's a company that's undergone a lot of evolution over the decades. So.
Yeah, definitely.
And as far as the big publishers, they take care of their creators really well.
They really do. And Cindy Cap says, "Great hats, thank you." And And Jen Thompson says, "Ooh, I hope YouTube doesn't demonetize you for showing all that skin." You just stick around, Jen, for the after hours version of the show. I will be in here in the men's room here at the Buffalo bus station. And Cindy Cap says, "Something is killing the children for free." That sounds like a terrible job. And Jen, I'm going to hold off on your question. That is I could do it now, but we will hold off on that. And good evening to Zoltar, man. Good to see you, Silvio. And Pops Van Zandt, Comics Talk, said, "I found a cousin I did not know I had. He is an artist named Ryan Rice." Promoting
I thought that was going a different direction.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yeah. I've got to.
Am I?
Yeah, I got to remember to read ahead.
To her.
Yeah. I gotta remember to read ahead. I don't care if I'm on vacation. But anyway, promoting his work in the madness now. He doesn't even know me. Oh my gosh! And Carl Wisdom's right. It's a small world, Pops. And the Rising Tide Broadcast Network says Eric just needs to listen to Ghost Riders in the Sky.
I don't think I know that one.
Oh, Old Sons of the Pioneers.
It's a joke. Of course I know it.
Okay, good. I don't know with you young people, It's like hand you a rotary phone and you're helpless. And was Toy Boy an Image comic? I'm trying to remember that one.
Don't know.
I'd have to look. I'd have to look for that one. And Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt, it is crazy, Carl. Cannot wait till he checks out the group. Would be cool to get him on a cover. And oops, what did you do, Jen? What did you do? And send me the pictures of whatever it was. We'll get to Jen's questions later, asking about the creative process. And all of us are involved in our own creative process here. But anyway,
don't Google Toy Boy.
Oh, did you? It's already killed Brian. He's about to have a Christian Basil moment.
Why would you Google that?
I was curious.
Continuity Comics, Neil Adams.
Yeah, is this something that's going to get me on a list?
No.
Like a federal investigation list? I'll look it up later on my father-in-law's computer.
No, at least
Now we got
hashtag
hashtag Toy Boy, hashtag Dino Porn.
Spinner Rack Comics. There you go. Just put comic book after and you'll be safe.
There you go.
Okay. I'm sure. Anyway, oh, John, you're trying to get us in trouble. Rising Tide Broadcast Network says, what no one knows is all four of you are in the same hot tub with fake backgrounds. Don't tell all of our secrets. And Toy Boy was Continuity Comics. That's right. The old Neil Adams thing. Okay. And oh no, do not Google Toy Boy. Shame on you,
Trying
John
to warn
Scarborough. Yeah, well, where's Christian Basil? Christian, don't look this up. Yeah, I was like, yeah. Oh, so let's move on quickly to the next topic. And Eric said Spinner.
Okay, who's next?
Yeah, who's next?
I'll go next.
Oh, thank God for that. Brian Rodman, what do you have for us this week?
Oh man. Well, this week is so much better than last week. And I just want to take a moment to appreciate just the excellent lettering skills in this week's book, as opposed to last week, which was just hot garbage on fire. So this week's issue that I'm reviewing is Ultra Mega. Let's get the shine out of there. By Image Comics. It is it's actually it's by James Herron, who is the creator, artist, and writer. If you guys he did work on BPRD, but he also did the series Rumble. If anybody has read that, fantastic series by from Image as well. Check that out. Dave Stewart did the coloring. Russ Wooten was the letterer. Sean, I'm gonna butcher this last name. McEwix. We're going with that. Sean McEwix is the editor, and Andre Juarez is the logo designer. Which is interesting.
Oh.
I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
It is.
That's not something you normally see in a comic. So I thought that was a pretty cool credit.
That's a new credit I'll have to add to mine.
Yeah.
Just my name again.
Yeah.
Eric's just like, how many more things can I put that I've done? Everything. No. Worship me. No,
no, it's his name I need to put in my comics because he designed my Rising Tide logo.
Oh,
so.
I see. Gotcha.
That was a hint. Brian, get busy.
But anyway, no, the image description actually is it says that cosmic plague has spread, which what a timely comic it is. A cosmic plague has spread, transforming everyday people into violent, monstrous kaiju. Only the Ultra Mega, 3 individuals imbued with incredible powers, hold the line against this madness. Their battle levels cities and leave untold horror in their wake. Now, the final reckoning approaches for the Ultra Mega. But is this a war they can even win? And I'm telling you guys, right off the bat, you meet the hero, who is Ultra, or the main character in the Ultra Mega Trinity, and it's kind of like a Green Lantern-ish feel. So like this Guardian who rides on top of eyeball crystals. That's cool. Appears to Jason, this guy right here, which I love it. He has a mullet and a mustache, which is always fun. And he appears to him, he's a former boxer who's kind of washed up. And he he offers him the power to fight this plague that is turning random people into kaiju monsters. And Jason says yes, of course, because he has nothing else to do with his life. And I mean, from that point, in this first couple pages, it jumps into the future where Jason has already said yes. You kind of get a brief description of the other two parts of the Ultra Mega. And I tell you, if you like Ultraman or any kind of kaiju, anything, this book is for you. I enjoy kaiju stuff. It's not like I don't geek out every time a Godzilla movie comes out or anything like that, but this was a ton of fun. Heads up, it is really violent, so just know that going into it. It is not for kids, but the story is fantastic. You really get attached to the main character, Jason, and then it all happens really quickly, but you really get attached to the other two characters as well. And I tell you what, I don't want to spoil it. It takes a turn, pretty harsh turn towards the end of the book. And I mean, just shield your eyes if you don't like gross things. You've been warned. Here we go. This is kind of the picture of the violence and the grossness that you see in there. That's the plague that's infecting people, that the kaiju. But like just the artwork, the colors, the line art. I mean, look at this 2-page spread of Jason just tackling a kaiju monster. Super awesome. Oh, Brian took a goose. Tell us what you really think.
I give that 2 flushes.
You're in a bathroom. This is so great. But it's just such really good like monster designs as well. Like just gross monster. Like that's just a monster incubating. So if you love monster stuff, this is definitely for you. It ends on a really cool, energetic, upbeat note. And it just like it really gets you pumped for issue 2. Issue 2 came out last week. And then issue 3 comes out on I believe May 19th, and then issue 4 is scheduled for June 16th. So this series is fantastic. I can't say enough good things about it. It's compelling. The characters are relatable. The side characters that you don't really spend a whole lot of time with, you end up really caring about, which is so hard to do as a storyteller. And just it is a 60-page book.
Wow.
So the price is a little high. It's $8, but that's fine for a 60-page issue. And it is just the way the art of tackling such an epic epic fight scenes between kaiju monsters and the Ultra Mega. It's just so well plotted out, so well laid out, and executed amazingly. And like I said, there's some gut punching twists in this, just in issue 1. So definitely go pick it up. If you like this kind of stuff, if you like kaiju, if you like Ultraman, this is for you. It is fantastic. And if you like the artwork and Rumble, this takes it to the next level. I give it a 10 out of 10. Easy.
Nice.
Easy 10 out of 10.
Very
Cool. Confident in that. It is great. And I will be following this series for however long it lasts because it's great. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Pardon me. And just catch up with our comments. John Scarl, I never cause trouble. Does it hurt when your nose grows like that when you talk, John? Ted Davies Artistry gives a whole new idea to the Michigan job. And Brian Hawkins says, as far as the image bashing goes, I think a lot of us that were collecting when Image started still kind of associate them with late overprinted books. A lot of fun, but worthless books. And according to the little commentary in back, John Scarborough says, and Brian says, I cause trouble. You can't spit without hitting a troublemaker around here. So, Clyde, you want to go first, or do you want to bring up the rear here with one of your amazing reviews?
Don't say rear while you're in the bathroom.
Oh God!
Yeah, you know what, man? It's already over. He already flushed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
This is the episode that truly gives a never mind. Anyway, I've got a couple of books here I'm going to talk about. I'm going to say one because I reviewed the first issue about a month ago, and these books came out, are within the 1 month period of release because I haven't been to my comic shop this week. I'm not in town. But anyway, Superman. Red and blue. Batman gets black and white. But Superman red and blue. I got the Nicola Scott cover. As always, she does superlative work. Now, in this issue, the art on a lot of this is really good. It's not just about our Superman, but it has a Val Zod story drawn by Dennis Cowan. That is totally beautiful. And a pretty, and the art in this is very decent. The stories are all one-offs and they're pretty good. My one disappointment in this is that there are a couple of choices of fonts that, let me get over to this page. I think they could have picked something a little easier on the eyes as far as the font goes. This one has Hank Henshaw, but nice. It is pretty good art and it's a decent story, but that lettering is just so angular, it takes me out of the story immediately. Also, the red and blue is not used so much as a storytelling device as the first issue had. It's still a good read. I'd still call it I'd give this a 7.5 out of 10. Now, the one I really want to talk about, and I said I'd mention Joe D. McPhee from the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. He told me, Brian, you got to buy this one book. It is amazing. And when he told me a little bit about it, I said, I've got to hunt. Pardon me, I've got allergies right now. You got to hunt that down, and I did. And so, Crime Syndicate from DC. For those of you who don't know, the Crime Syndicate comes from Earth 3, where things are reversed. Long ago, the British formed a revolution to get away from the tyranny of the American Empire led by King George Washington. Abraham Lincoln was an actor who was famous for assassinating President John Wilkes Booth. Things were just flipped on their ear in this Earth 3. Everything that we know happened the opposite way. Well, in this one, they've got a Justice League, but they're actually the Crime Syndicate. They're led by a character named Ultraman, not to be confused with the kaiju guy. And Owlman is their Batman. Superwoman is their Wonder Woman analog. But the idea behind this story is it introduces a lot of characters like President Oliver Queen, who has kind of a kinky relationship with Superwoman. And he does have a good line about he always hits the spot. But anyway, they have an invasion of Staros trying to take over the planet. And in this one, Owlman works for the Court of Owls. And there's just a lot of wonderful, delicious little twists and turns, a little homage to Grant Morrison's storytelling from All-Star Superman and his Action Comics run. And all the art in the backup origin stories, Superman or Ultraman is in the first one, Owlman's in the second, drawn by Brian Hitch, which that ain't bad. There's a lot of action. There is a lot of twists and turns. We see the larger DC Earth 3 universe in these two stories, but there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of action, a lot of great writing in here from Andy Schmidt, Kieran McCown is the penciler. Dexter Vines is the inker. Steve Oliff, there's a name for you. Remember the early Image books. Rob Lee is the letterer, who he also did some of the lettering in here, but I like the font in here a lot better. And edited by Alex R. Carr. It is really epic. John Stewart is the power ring of this sector, and Owlman hacks his ring. Anyway, it's a really exciting read. I'm really looking forward to the next 4 issues. Jody McPhee, thank you so much for your recommendation of this. I'm on board for the whole 6 issues, and I have got to give this one so far a 10 out of 10. It has been engaging. I've reread these 2 issues over and over again, and I would recommend them to anyone, especially if you like What If or any of the Elseworlds books. I think you will genuinely enjoy these books as well.
Cool.
I love that the Court of Owls is in it. They're my favorite. They're aside from the Joker, they're my favorite Batman villain.
Yeah, and in this, what is it? Superwoman's had like different iterations. Like the original back in Justice League 38 was like she was like Wonder Woman. She was supposedly Diana Prince. Then Grant Morrison did a version where she was like this weird version of Lois Lane, and now it's Donna Troy.
Oh,
it's good
nice
stuff. And
I think I'm gonna have to get that one. That sounds awesome.
I was really excited by it. It's like Joe D. McPhee told me about this book, and I thought I've got to at least get the first couple issues. And when I get back home, I'm going to tell my Blue Moon guys to please put me down for the rest of it. So I'm in for the ride till the end. So I definitely recommend this book. Rising Tide Broadcast Network says, "See, being broke, Image books were in the discount bin, so that's what I started on a lot." That makes a lot of sense. And John Scarborough, I am a professional. I have to get paid to cause trouble. Professionally, it's called counter mobility. And Brian Hawkins says, that being said, Image has gone in a different direction than the early days in a good way. Lots of different types of books now can say that they're the house of ideas now. I agree.
I would agree with that.
Totally. I mean, they gave us The Walking Dead. They gave us Invincible, which I think is one of the best, most mature superhero books in decades, and still has that early Spider-Man feel to it. I really love that book. So,
and they gave us Saga. And I mean, really, let's just be honest. They gave us Robert Kirkman.
Yeah, that's it.
That dude has he's become a powerhouse on the comic. I mean, I'll say this. He for those that don't know, he has his own portion because he's a partner at Image. He has Skybound over at Image, and this is a Skybound book. So he has a little pocket of the Image all to himself. And he's from Kentucky. So I think he's from Richmond. So yeah. What did you say? I'm sorry. Well, he probably is too, but there you go.
He ain't no Raylan Gibbons.
Brian Hawkins says Marvel is more the house of bad ideas. They have a few books I really recommend, though. Ted Davies, we love you right back. He loves this Fabbing Four show. We love it, too. We have a good time on here. We hope everyone else does as well. And Rising Tide Broadcast Network says the Court of Owls is not as well known as many of Bat's Rogues Gallery. Can you summarize them? Correct me if I'm wrong, but they are an organization that has lasted for a couple of 100 years, secretly pulling the strings behind the development of Gotham City. Batman just recently discovered them just prior to, I think, of the New 52 run, or around that time.
It was during the New 52. Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's run was they featured the Court of Owls.
Yeah,
so.
And they were trying to
several Talons over the years.
Yes. They were after Dick Grayson to be their new Talon. And Batman said no.
Yeah, and they made
you ain't taking my Dick, Grayson.
That Dick is all mine. Grayson, that is. So anyway, but no, and they tried again during the recent Amnesiac run of Nightwing. So hopefully that answered your question for you. And he is, as William Quinton, of 47 Furious Tales, a very, very good independent comic book. The first 2 issues are out right now. I lived in Richmond for years, and I'm glad you got out of there. I'm glad you survived. Anyway, so we bring the gold standard now, and John Scarborough mocks us with his laughter that is so richly deserved. So anyway, the gold standard of us all, the man with the incredible incisive reviews, is up next. No pressure, Clyde Hall. So anyway,
you're going to do another one, Brian.
Well, I could, but I'll have to go get my iPad.
Oh, with that intro, I thought you were introducing yourself.
I would, but, it's not like I have any sort of ego.
Look at the face of humility, right there.
Yeah,
Look at it.
And I'm proud of my humility too. I've worked hard on it.
My humility's better than yours.
Oh yeah, my humility blots out the sun. Anyway, so anyway,
my humility can beat up your humility.
Oh yeah, well my humility and your mama. Never mind. So anyway,
Whoa.
yeah, we're going there.
You just crossed the line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me broadcasting from a bathroom didn't do it, right? Anyway, and you having the first Grayson joke of the night. But anyway, let's move on to the classy literary stylings of Mr. Clyde Hall. Please, for the love of God, save us. You have quite a task ahead of you.
I think we're beyond reclamation, but I will try. For one thing, you mentioned Brian Hitch doing the backup story of Owlman, right?
Yes.
Brian? Okay.
Actually, both issues.
Okay. Well, Brian Hitch, Hawkman. I can't say enough good things about his series. If you haven't read it, go back. It was one of those at DC. I don't think they really promoted it very big, but I became a Hitch fan when I saw him take all the continuity of all the years of Hawkman's starts and stops and false starts and stops and just get rid of it and make something better. Built on it from scratch into a completely different format. And that he's been on my radar ever since. So I may have to look at the backup stories in those issues and see. I wasn't too crazy about the Crime Syndicate that I read, the first issue, but I'm also thinking of Frank Quietly's run. And that was kind of my gold standard for it. So, but I might give it another shot just to catch the Brian Hitch backup stories because I'm sure that's worth it.
Really are. I would pay the money just for the backup alone. It's been that good.
And with Hitch, I can absolutely believe that. I'm going to do a Marvel review this week, and this is to kind of coincide with the trailer drop for Shang-Chi. Mm-hmm. We got that coming out from the MCU, and I had read the first issue of this. I went and picked up the trade as it came out this week. It's a 5-issue miniseries. The last that's come out, probably the last thing of Shang-Chi that comes out before the movie does. And looking at it from that perspective, it's not a bad addition. But it's Shang-Chi, Brothers and Sisters. And show you a little bit of the artwork that I'll refer to because it's a two-man show. We have Daik Ruan doing the present day, very sharp, very good martial arts look to it. And then for things, there's another page that kind of gave me a little jaw drop. I like the death figure. And okay, so here we have, once again, we have modern part of the story with Daik Ruan. But Philip Tan does the flashbacks. And I really, really appreciate how it fits, and yet it looks very filmy and like through the lens of time.
Nice.
I really like that, yeah. So, on to the review here. Again, this just came out. It was a 5-issue miniseries that just came out in a trade paperback last week. So, available at your comic shops, just like Colossus Comics and Games in Mount Vernon, Illinois, where I get mine. Be sure to support your local comic book shop. Yes. Shang-Chi, Brothers and Sisters trade paperback, Marvel, $15.99 cover price for this TPB. Written by Jean Wen Yang, You may remember that name. We'll talk about it here in a minute. Art by Dai Ruan and Philip Tan. Colors by Sebastian Cheng. Letters by VC's Travis Lanham. It is rated Teen Plus for its maturity level. Shang-Chi isn't one of Marvel's biggest names, and he's mostly been portrayed as skilled and capable, disciplined, but not superpowered. This September, though, he becomes part of the MCU with Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Last week's release of this latest miniseries in TP form is a way for readers to get acquainted with this Asian hero who's been part of Marvel's comic book mythology since 1973. In Shang-Chi, Brothers and Sisters, writer Gene Luen Yang, who you may remember from The Shadow Hero that I've talked about before, and also Superman Smashes the Klan, who's the writer for that. He expands the hero's family and his connections to them, the genesis of his infamous father, and information on Shang-Chi's youth. He also incorporates British intelligence services MI5 and MI6, bloodthirsty undead Zhongxi, the hopping Chinese vampires, and Fin Fang Foom puts in an appearance. Lately, Marvel has been using any excuse to bring out Finn, and he's here again. Matters of family will also play into the film, but it's uncertain how connected the MCU continuity is going to be with any comic book iteration in that regard. Familial conflicts are a given, however, because this character's origin rests in father issues. The story of Shang-Chi failing in a bid to win rights for a Kung Fu TV series back in 1973, Marvel did manage to get the licensing of Sax Rohmer's Fu Manchu pulp stories. And then they tasked Jim Starlin and Steve Englehart with creating an original hero that they could use, a pulp villain's son who emerges from the manipulation of his father and battles him alongside the British Secret Services. After Marvel lost the Rohmer rights, they discarded the pulp trappings and the characters, making Shang-Chi the son of a powerful would-be world conqueror. And the conqueror has gone by many names, and he may even be immortal. So the situation becomes similar to what later developed as a Damian Wayne story, if he made it his life's work, defeating his grandfather and the League of Assassins. Shang-Chi's father, now called Zhang Zhu, casts his shadowy presence over most of our hero's adventures. Personally, when Zhang Zhu defeated and dead, I know it's comic book dead, but still, in Secret Avengers around 2011, I was hoping that Yang would explore a different direction for Shang-Chi. In the Damian Wayne example, you could certainly have great stories told regarding Robin squaring off against his grandfather and the criminal organization he leads, but other Damian stories have nothing to do with Ra's al Ghul, and those can be told, and this is kind of what I hoped for Shang-Chi. Yang may have done the next best thing, however, because he broadens the family connections with additional members. Yang also brings textured details to Zhang Zhu's story, a process Marvel's been following and which Yang builds on. He gives a textured, thoughtful portrayal of a near-immortal defender of China who has a code of honor, who understands his shortcomings, and who values strength over compassion. It's a turn that leaves him more Namor-like, an anti-hero, than really megalomaniacal would-be dictator. In centuries past, Zhu and his more altruistic brother, Zhang Yi, established the 5 houses to serve China. Houses of the deadly dagger, the deadly saber, the deadly staff, the deadly hammer, and the deadly hand. Each house has a master, all under the command of the brothers, and the supreme leader is always Brother Hand. But in the TP, Sister Hammer, in the modern day, begins hunting down and killing the other housemasters so she can usurp leadership. This will eventually include Shang-Chi, who is blissfully unaware of this part of his family history, but he is the one on whom the mantle of Brother Hand rests. It's a nice nod to the 1970s Marvel magazine publication, The Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, which featured our hero. Art chores are divided between Dai Ruan and for the modern scenes, and Philip Tan for the flashbacks. And the storyline is parallel, yin and yang, between current and past events. And so the art chores being divided is a clever and effective division. Their styles complement one another while still building contrast. Ruan's is a sharp leopard strike kind of style. Tan's is compatible, but scenes of the past are gauzy like cherry blossoms. Colorist Sebastian Chang surely contributes to this symmetry of events with his colorations. It's reflected in separate, differently hued tides of time. Chang additionally adds color swirls and patterns and variants to backgrounds that are otherwise largely left undefined, and that keeps them from clashing against very fluid and active foregrounds. In the MCU, Shang-Chi's father is the Mandarin, and I foresee the legend of his 10 rings trumping any kind of development of the 5 houses during the movie's origin tale. But Yang and crew provide here a satisfying portrayal of Shang-Chi, the hero, embodying his beliefs and his convictions that are consistent for the comic book adventures, and also I think that they will translate well to the cinematic counterpart. So anybody looking to find out what makes Shang-Chi tick before the movie comes out, I think this would be a very good introduction to his character. Regardless of any possible antagonist variations, and the Mandarin's rings could actually elevate our hero's potential in the superpowers arena, this TP is an apt primer for learning who Shang-Chi is and how he has become Marvel's master of Kung Fu. Along the way, it also provides humor, great martial arts action, and not a few plot twists. The final chord struck leaves a desire for more stories built on this foundation that they've established here, hopefully developing some of the familial relationships among living members and maybe some that get away from the shadow of the father. My score on the TP collection, Shang-Chi and the brothers and sisters, is 7.5 out of 10.
Very, very cool. That sounds good. Gene Yuen is my he's another one of
There he
my
is.
favorite.
There he is.
Favorite writers right
Nice.
now. And there's Eric. I saw Eric playing with that earlier. I thought about it.
I already have a couple of the movie figures. I got the Death Dealer and what will be the Mandarin? His rings are on his arm instead of his hands.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
I think it'll be good. I really, because of the writer, because Yang was tackling it, and I really have enjoyed his work before. Every time that we have any Shang-Chi stuff, and he's not an A-lister really for Marvel. He's a secondary kind of character. Every time they bring him out with a story, or even when he was in the Secret Avengers, it becomes about his dad.
Yeah.
And I know family relationships for an Asian character are very important, but I want to see some things where he comes into his own and develops beyond that. So that's the only reason that, as far as the quality of the book, I have no problem. I think it's excellent. If it had gone maybe a little bit away from Dad's shadow, it probably would have got closer to an 8.5. But
yeah, and that's the thing. I remember the original Master of Kung Fu from the 70s and 80s. It was a very philosophical book, especially under Doug mentioned Paul Gulacy and Gene Day. A really, really fine book. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people I've seen, don't take that tact with them. They just turn it more into like a watered down Bruce Lee. But it sounds like they're doing something different with him. I approve of that completely. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we've got some more comments. Let's see. And William Quinton now defends himself, saying he's in Frankfurt. Yeah, us. And Carl Westman says, I can host a multinational podcast from a bathroom. So there. That's my abilities are massive. And, time to get out the measuring tape to measure the humility, says William. You might want to back up a couple feet, is what I'm saying. And Ted Davies Artistry says, how do you spell ego? No, not T-E-D, it's B-K-M. And I love Egomorians. And John Scarborough says, gotta run. Show at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's stupid o'clock on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. You're all welcome. Message me for the StreamYard link if you're interested. John, have a great show tonight. I'll try to catch you if I can. Anyway, check out Stupid O'Clock. It is a great after-hours convention discussion. You will love that. John, have a good time tonight. Give everyone my best. And Jen Thompson says, why do raspberry Pop-Tarts taste like Pop Rocks? I've never had a...
I could not read that with Brian being in the bathroom and not seeing poop tarts and poop rocks.
Yeah, these taste like...
And raspberry. These are raspberry
like,
poop
ew.
That's good. That's a good insult. If you really just want to insult a child,
Yeah.
You don't want to do any kind of like, bad words or anything. You raspberry poop tart. That's fun.
That's right. I'm thinking that my shows need like more euphemisms, and I was coming up with one the other day. You mother Funko Pop. Something like that. I'm still working on that. Yeah, I see the background, Eric. Yes.
No, hold on.
Oh, I'm getting motion sickness. Oh no.
Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, sweet God.
Wow.
Can we get an
Yeah.
intervention for Eric?
I was gonna say, sir, are you okay? Do you need some help? I know some people.
I've only got a little over 140 something.
With what Carl said, I'm fearful for tomorrow's Never Mind the Furthermore, because it seems like the lid has been lifted, the bar has been raised about where he's going to be broadcasting from now that he's trying to out restroom Brian. I don't know.
Carl Witzman live from the local brothel.
And Carl's like, Carly, I'll be back in a couple hours. I've got to scout out some locations.
Just don't go to the local rest area bathroom and tap your foot on the floor.
Also, we have a little special guest here.
Oh, yeah.
She was screaming at the top of her lungs on the other side of the door, and I had to make sure she was alive and not dying. I opened the door, and she's like, "Hey, Dad, what's up? How you doing?" So now she's trapped.
I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Now, Jen Thompson, who is a writer and publisher and editor herself, had a question early on in the show, and all of us create to one, prose, comics. But Jen had a great question here. What one thing do you all admire most about your creative process? Mine is the fact that I can do it.
I was going to say, honestly, the freedom to do whatever I want to do. That's what, I would say.
That's my answer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have somebody telling me, "Oh, you can't do that with your story." The only person that can do that is my wife.
That's right.
And she is my visual editor, the person I bounce ideas off of, and I allow that person to be her and the other editors that I come into contact with and work with. And ultimately, it comes down to, hey, if I want to do it, I'm going to do it. I don't have some editor, some bigwig, telling me, no, you can't do that. So that's the best part of the creation process for me.
I admire the ability to navigate rabbit holes. I love to just dive into a time period or a topic, and when I'm writing I kind of like plan out a story, and then I have to do my rabbit hole diving. I'm not careful. It's a two-edged sword. It can be a lot of fun, and I can add to creating something neat and different with it. And at the same time, if I'm not careful, it'll be 7 o'clock at night, and I'll be like, I have learned so much today. How much did you write? Nothing. But I have extensive notes.
Right.
Yeah.
I wrote a lot up here.
Yeah. No, I understand that. In the pre-internet days, I was going to pitch to the DC role-playing game people from Mayfair Books. A friend of mine and I were going to collaborate on a JSA one, and it involved the Spear of Destiny, and part of it was taking place in the German consulate in Washington D.C., which, first of all, this is where I learned that consulates, the grounds upon which they rest, are considered part of that country's soil.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in the Italian consulate, that belongs to Italy. If you're in the Spanish consulate, that belongs to Spain, whatever. And so the thing is, at the time, since Germany had the Spear of Destiny, anyone with supernaturally based powers or supernatural sensitivity wound up turning their allegiance to Germany. So I had to find out who was manning the German consulate during World War II. I spent 4 hours in the public library going through all the books I could and all the little card files and everything. One,
And
I
now
got
that's just a quick Google search.
yeah, which is nauseating. Yeah, and by the way,
Did you
the answer
use your
is
Dewey Decimal?
yeah. So much for that love affair, but no, and the answer, kids, is Switzerland because they're neutral.
Yeah.
The Swiss would take over enemy consulates during times of war.
Doesn't sound very neutral.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, sort of,
That
kind
sounds,
of.
yeah, we're neutral.
Give
Yeah,
me that.
Oh yeah, well you annex the Sudetenland, fine. We'll take your consulates. That's fine.
Right.
You can work with us. Yeah, but that's just how things are. So anyway, let's see here. Do we have any more? We have some more. Funko Pops. Lots of Funko Pops. Cindy, call for help. Ted Davies Artistry, the new cigar shower show. Get ready, Carl.
Ooh.
You'll love the sound.
Ooh.
And Fluffy Critters, says Cindy Cab for
Yes,
the
I'm
cat.
right
I
here.
hope-
Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if she's talking about the cat or Brian.
Why not both?
And William Quinton says, live with a 20-second delay from the Madison County Detention Center interview room. Yeah, that would be us. And weird ideas. Yeah, or weird ideas. Yeah, that means she's trying to say we're dear and we're weird. And yeah, that's it. Anyway, I'm trying to salvage that. But anyway, thank you. CKOEPP.com. Check out her book, Animal Eye. It's awesome. It's available from Amazon.com, as is a book that's coming out next week, Snow Ambition by me. Please check it out. We'll probably have a special episode of Clever Tile pending next week about that one. The description is available on my page, and Bobby Nash. Go to BobbyNash.com and AbrahamSnow.com. It's available currently or will be available next week in ebook form. Will be collected into a paperback later this year. So anyway, hashtag always promote. So so let me see. I think we are caught up with the comments tonight. So
All right.
yeah. So do you guys have anything you want to talk about? I've been kind of out of the loop as far as comic news goes this week. So is there anything I need to know? Did I miss anything?
New X-Men outfits? I saw something about that.
Okay.
Didn't really see much other than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say there really hasn't been a ton. There's been a lot more like on the TV show front. I will say this. This is comic related because Invincible was a comic. That show is fantastic. They have been able, they have been able to take. I mean, it's different. It's different. All the main beats are still there, but they have taken liberties to adapt it for television and speed the pace up and the story's great. The animation is phenomenal, and it looks so much like the comic. They just did a really good job. It's on Amazon Prime. They've got the first 7 episodes up. I don't know if that's the whole first season, but today it just got renewed for seasons 2 and 3.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. The show's great so far. Yeah. So I know that there's that, and then also the trailer for Castlevania season 4, which is the final season. Just dropped today. It comes on Netflix next month. And this guy is super happy because that's one of the games that I run to for comfort.
There we go. What says I love you more than Castlevania? Yeah.
Exactly.
I know. It's so sweet. Well, how's the gore level? Because that's one reason I would love to share Invincible, the comic series, with my wife, but it's like when you have a picture of somebody getting punched in the jaw and their head explodes.
Does she like gore?
That's like the whole show.
No.
So yeah, that's the whole show. She doesn't like gore. Nope. Don't.
This is my imitation. This is my imitation of Cookie watching the movie Aliens when we were first married.
Yeah, this is not for her. There's a scene. Yeah, a lot of times graphically you see heads explode, eyeballs get plucked out. It's about as gory as a 1980s horror movie.
Oh, boy.
But it's an animated superhero show.
Call the kids. And yes,
Yeah.
there is some gore. Okay, thank you. Oh.
I got to see the trailer for MODOK, which is it's a Hulu release. So I haven't heard a lot about it. But Patton Oswalt's doing the voice of MODOK, and it's a comedy. It's an adult comedy take on the Marvel character, and I'm kind of looking forward to that. Just as something, we just got done with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I did enjoy a lot. And this is going to be something. I don't know. It may also be gory. I'm not sure, but it is at least in a more funny vein. And I'm ready. I'm kind of ready for that because Falcon and Winter Soldier is pretty heavy when it comes right down to it. Great action sequences and stuff, but it's got a lot of issues that it at least touches on and examines with society and stuff. So I'm ready for a MODOK. I want to see a giant-headed bad guy taking over the world, voiced by Patton Oswalt. Yeah.
I'd watch anything of Patton Oswalt. He's amazing. And Cindy Kemp says, "No kidding. Hope you get to chill a bit before starting the next project. What do you think I'm doing now? No joke." And comic book news: Kickstarter campaigns are funding at phenomenal speeds. Yes, they are. Well, the good ones, and Brian did pretty well with his.
Yeah.
And
hey, we're gearing up for the next one. The Nebulizer coming your way, May 28th. Woohoo!
Yes.
And Cindy, please put in a link to your Kickstarter advance notice page so that I signed up for it so that we all can. But she goes, ew, not a fan of gratuitous anything, including violence. And Ted Davies Artistry says, great show, Fab 4. Be on the lookout for Ted live draw this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. More info soon. Looking forward to that, Ted. Thank you for sharing that, brother. That's going to be a lot of fun. And let's see, I got this here. Let's see. Okay, there we go. If you want to, let's see, it's going to take a moment here. And if you want to support Eric Hawkins' Zombie Full World of Oz #3, there is the Kickstarter shortcut for that. And for you who are on Facebook, there is your link right there. And Brian Hawkins,
95 backers and $3,408 was still 26 days ago.
That's
awesome,
man.
Yes. Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing. Now, what was your initial goal?
1,200.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cats, that's great. You're going to have to spend a couple weeks just coming up with new stretch goals.
Yeah. Poker chips.
Oh,
nice.
Yes.
That's
So
awesome.
love that. And Brian Hawkins says, speaking of gore, if you don't like gore, don't watch the new Mortal Kombat. If you don't mind gore, definitely watch it. I really liked it. Okay, cool. And Jen Thompson, we love you too, sweetheart. Mwah. I can't wait to see you last Saturday in May at the Peoria Civic Center for the Indie Author Book Expo. It's going to be a lot of fun. And don't be surprised if you see some Nevermorians besides myself there. And William Quinton, who also has 47 Furious Tales based on the 47 Ronin legend. He says, congrats. Thank you. And Cindy Kemp has the pre-launch right there at Kickstarter.com/project/Animal-I-1 and all that there. And where it's a great, I've read it. I helped edit the script. And Cindy's done a fantastic job on it. It puts you in the, think of it as a VR kind of thing, a virtual reality, where you become anthropomorphic characters. And she does such a great job of putting you in their place. It is a lot of fun. And Ted Davies Artistry says, amazing, Eric. Well, you're pretty amazing yourself,
Thank
Ted.
you.
Seriously. And Pops Van Zandt is hosting a launch party for Cindy Kemp's first Kickstarter. That is so exciting. Oh, we're looking forward to that. And we'll help you promote that, Cindy. We'd love to see you get at least funded as fast as Eric and Ted. So, and Brian too. Don't forget Brian. He did a good job, and he's already starting to get the fulfillment out on his too. So, and go Eric. All right.
I got to read Cindy's Ashcan part of it for Animal Eye, and it reminded me of the times in roleplay games when I played like a familiar of a magic user, or one time we did Gamma World, and I played a canine, and mutant, canine with human intelligence, and It was like that. It was, and it's part of a game. It's a VR game. And I just thought it was really creative and different. I don't think I've ever read a comic book quite like that.
Yeah, she's got such a unique spin on this that I'm really excited to see what she's got coming up next. And her artist is really, really fantastic. He did an amazing job on the book. So please check it out. Please follow Cindy. Please go to ckoepp.com and follow her amazing newsletter, which comes out around the 25th of every month. And she's awesome. We love her. She is amazing. And if she likes you, she'll tell you jokes on Clever Title Pending every Tuesday night, 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central Time. But
I actually have a quick question. Since it is our 10th issue,
Yes.
I thought it'd be kind of cool if each one of us maybe asked a question to one other individual in the group. Or maybe just each one of us ask a question that we all answer. Like I could go if you guys want to. I could go first.
Go for it,
because I got one.
Yeah.
So right, we're all creators. We all are pretty busy. We have busy schedules. And what do you guys do when you find the little downtime that we have? What do you do to relax? What is your kind of where do you go to escape from everything? Oh, Eric quit.
That's what he does to relax.
That's what
If we pick this up in the Eric Hawkins bathroom, I'm out. I don't know.
Eric, all you had to do is say you didn't want to answer.
I know.
Okay,
You
really.
didn't have to run away, buddy.
These superstars are so
Okay, there we go.
petulant.
Yeah. You have to
There it
change your underwear? Was that what happened?
Escape.
There you go, kids. Turn to alcoholism. It'll help your life.
Follow us for more life hacks.
Oh man,
my
like
God.
for me, like mine is I'm a Christian. I spend time reading the Bible and praying. That is the escape that just refreshes me. But also on top of that, I have my handy dandy Super Nintendo Classic. It has all my favorite games on it. I'll just kind of check out and do that. Right now, I'm reading The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I've never read anything Brandon Sanderson before, and it's already probably going to become my favorite fantasy series of all time that he has written. So yeah, I just when I find time to do that, or I'll watch some fantasy show on streaming networks, but that's few and far between when I'm actually able to do those things. But I was just curious, what are your things? Clearly, Eric is an alcoholic.
Well, no, I don't drink a lot anymore. I used to be very close, but no, I don't. I did almost finish this whole bottle off in a week, though. But that's because of Ted. It is honestly because of Ted.
Another benefit of belonging to the Rising Tide Broadcast Network.
So,
our livers are about this big now and about this density of spent uranium. So
I usually try to watch, at least, a Disney show on Friday nights with my wife, but I don't think she's really into the Captain America too much. Captain America and Winter Soldier now. But other than that, I create in other ways. I don't know if you guys know what a DTOF cabinet is. You can get it from IKEA. It's a glass cabinet with shelves in for collectibles.
Okay.
I keep some of my figures in them, but I take insulation foam, that big foam board, and I make dioramas for the figures inside the shelving. That's fun to do, but that takes up some time. And I could be drawing. But I do typically, I'll play a match or two of Call of Duty right before I go to bed at night after I get done drawing.
Nice.
Just to shoot some people.
I was gonna say, just shoot the crap out of people. He's sitting there with his bottle, just playing one-handed. Come here, I'm gonna get you.
Don't move, Morris. Don't move.
You stay on that toilet, Brian. You stay right there.
I'm not drawing another zombie again.
I actually have. I've really limited the TV shows I watch. I don't watch that much TV at all anymore.
Yeah.
Just there's not a lot of good stuff on anymore, but I just don't watch a lot of it. A lot of stuff I liked watching just went off the air, and I just kind of got done with it. So I try to catch a show every once in a while, but that's about it. I mean, I draw to relax.
Yeah. That's another thing too. I think a lot of the things that we love, we ended up doing. So like that, like rest. You find rest in creating as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's true for me as well. I find writing very relaxing. As far as other things, I like hang out on YouTube and pick up I watch certain types of videos like sovereign citizens, Karens getting yelled at, things like that. Just things that just remind me that maybe as a species we do deserve to be nuked from space. And but no, I also pick up. I like running through music videos, finding old videos that maybe it's a song I haven't heard in like forever. Or
I don't see you running through anything.
Limping quickly then through all the videos, limping with purpose. But no, it's like the other day I discovered one by two of my favorite groups, Todd Rundgren and Sparks. Yeah, and it was a new collaboration that Sparks basically started a video or started a song and then sent it to Rundgren and said, "Here, you finish it." And it's called Fandango, and it's really, really enchanting. It's really wonderful. But things like that, or old concert films, like groups like the Go-Go's or Squeeze or something like that. But that's what a lot of that. That's what I do for relaxation. I don't watch much television at all. Unless it's like DVDs or something. So, because I'm.
Well, I would say YouTube's a guilty pleasure. I mean, you do find rabbit holes. Yeah.
Yes.
Clyde was talking about some. I mean, Weird History posts a video almost every day, and I started watching those. And good grief! It goes just weird things about actual history.
Or today I found out
action reaction videos. To music, old music videos that people have never seen. I mean, like, that's cool. Yeah. And stuff like that. But yeah, YouTube's a rabbit hole of stuff you can find out there.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is.
Look up the history guy. He's from O'Fallon.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's been like a professor of history.
Yeah.
And he does things like even if it's a like the gunfight at the OK Corral. Okay, well we've seen stuff about that before. He brings in details that you'd be like, I never heard that before. So, and then other things are like the year of the four emperors. Right after Nero in ancient Rome, there were four emperors like within months, and he went and parsed apart how each one came to be in power, and then how they fell out of favor very quickly, and little things like I've never heard that. Nero, people talk about all the time. The four emperors that came after him with about an average of 4-month reign. Yeah, I had never heard that. So the history guy is one thing. First thing I do when I get up in the morning is I have 2 devotionals that I follow. So the first thing I do is try to get my mind right with that. And then I write. I spend time. I'll get on YouTube for different things. Today, I hit a spot in my writing. I didn't know what to do. So I was just looking around on YouTube, the rabbit hole of inspiration. And here's a film student that said, The Lone Ranger from 2013 is a very flawed movie. It had troubles with this. It had troubles with that. It was this. Johnny Depp took a lot of heat for playing a Native American role, And yet, it has one of the best action sequences, this guy said, this film student felt, ever filmed. And I'm like, the train scene.
The train scene, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
And then he went and he played it with text at the bottom of how each thing fits in. Like, if you notice, the gunshots are parts of the beats of the William Tell Overture.
Oh,
and how carefully that is done, and it's funny, and it's exciting, and it has changes of perspective. And it's a big. He goes, it's just a big action sequence, but it's one of the best ones I think that's ever been filmed in modern film. And by the time I got done watching that, hey, I was ready to write again, and to make it more exciting than it was before.
In all seriousness, like I hate that movie, but
it's definitely got problems. I agree.
But the last 20 minutes is a ton of fun. When that song starts, it's a ride. It's so much fun. It is. And I'm just like, where was this? The whole rest of the movie. Like
it drags up to that point. But if you look at it from a pulp perspective also, I don't know. Just think of it as writing, even though there's not a lot of script, there's not a lot of dialogue in the last part.
Mm-hmm.
You come down to the point where the bad guys have won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're done. They've got their bushels of silver and it's all done, but tying a ribbon on it.
Yeah.
And then that music starts. And a white horse with a speed of light and a Hardy Hi-Yo comes off that roof and onto the train. And you see those kids in the train going.
Yeah. And he's finally the Lone Ranger then.
Yeah. This is where the legend. This is where the legend begins.
Yeah.
And Tonto being, he's been kind of a comedic foil for part of it.
Mm-hmm.
The music changes from what they call the Tonto escapades or his silliness.
Mm-hmm.
About the time that he's on that ladder and he comes down and he steps onto the train as it smashes into the tree, it changes to the heroic theme because now he's stepping into his heroic moment and time of all the payback from they gave Tonto a decent backstory for this is one thing I like about the movie.
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp had the skills as an actor, whether he's a Native American or not, to make a break in that dramatic pounding, pulsing last 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So I love that kind of stuff. And it just gets me all fired up to try to write something that is equivalent or like that. The other thing I do, I'm part of a Shakespeare reading group. I am not Shakespearean. I mean, I read a couple of Shakespeare's in high school, but they put out what they're going to do for a play and they give out parts. So I go and I study over the course of a couple of weeks, the different film adaptations or filmed theatrical versions so that I can play the part well or try to. And it's different than reading Shakespeare to just sit, and it's in a Zoom format. We sit and we do the parts, and I find a lot of, it's every few weeks. It's not a weekly thing. It's sometimes just once a month, but I really enjoy that. It gives you a feeling of being part of something ground setting for fiction and for storytelling. So that's
really cool. That's a cool little Clyde Hall fun fact. I like that. And I do want to say this. I know we end up bragging on you quite a bit, Clyde, but we're going to do it again. So I appreciate that about you. Is just what you said. Like, you get the role in Shakespeare, and then you go and you're very intentional with how you do your research, with how you in your reviews, how you express, your feelings about the book, what the book is about. You're very intentional in pretty much every step you take, which is the exact opposite of the rest of us. And so, but no, like I just
has words.
And them their drawings is good too.
Read the words. Read the art. Study the words.
But no, Clyde, that you as a person, I can tell now that I know you enough to know that you are a very intentional guy, and I really appreciate that about you, sir.
Thank you. I try, because I've seen people that, well, you guys a lot of times just off the top of your head, you're very improvisational, and I've had to do that before, but it's not a natural thing. I don't do it that well. So I appreciate the fact that you guys can come in and...
No, we don't.
Oh, you do. Oh, yes, you do. When a comment comes in and you guys can respond to it, in 3 different views, 3 different ways, each creative and funny, my hat's off to you. Well, it's not exactly, but
Well, you just always make a Dick Grayson
Figuratively, it's
joke and
awesome.
it works.
Somebody,
Yeah.
you know what? Somebody's got to be that guy. So Eric can be that guy. There you go.
Yeah. And it sure as hell isn't going to be the three of us.
Yeah.
Joe Dog McGill says, hello, gang. Joe Dog, looking forward to your show later tonight. Stupid O'Clock at 9 p.m. Roll Cruz art did an amazing job with the art. That he did. William Quinton says, fulfillment. Yay. I'm happy to say that my Indiegogo is fulfilled and we're going into in demand once the campaign ends in 31 hours. That's fantastic.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Nice.
That is great. Now, as far as yes, definitely. And as far as relaxation, Cindy Cat crochets critters and does Tai Chi fan form. And listens to Bible studies while crafting, plays goofy iPad games like Civilization 6. And Ted Davies Artistry says, Mr. Rodman, I started a show Drinking with the Davies Fridays at 6 p.m.
Yep.
Eric's like, I know. I'm back on the wagon or off
White
the wagon.
Russians.
Yeah, there's a wagon. We're drinking something. Let's go. All
I
right.
can't even find the wagon. I'm blind from all the alcohol. Yeah. So,
There was a
God.
wagon? I don't know.
I didn't fall off the wagon. I bailed.
I'm fine. Sadly, now I will admit this. What is this? 2021, so 2015.
Yeah.
There is a video of me at a Cyberg's, I think, acting like a baby on a bar stool.
Does this exist still? Somewhere?
It exists, but I don't believe it's online anywhere.
Oh, yet.
I think it has been hidden.
Yeah.
Brian,
We'll-
do your thing,
we'll-
buddy.
We'll let you know. I found that other thing you were looking for.
Yeah, don't worry, Eric. We'll tag you in it.
Oh, great. It's like,
we can use it as a stretch goal. It'll be okay.
there we go.
There you go.
That should be my new logo for my company.
You as a baby.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun. Well, Brian, that's a super idea. You have so many great ideas, my man.
I'm full of a lot of things, so there's that.
Well, Brian isn't because he's already gone to the bathroom.
Hey-o!
Hey-o,
See?
see? That's right. We are where we are for a reason. Anyway, and if it's anywhere on the net, it's everywhere on the net. That's what we're praying. I am never doing another show for my office ever again. This is gold.
I mean, when you can just reach over and flush a toilet mid-show, what? You've arrived. You've arrived, sir. You can die happy now. Yeah.
You and Archie Bunker.
Yeah. I've worked for 6 years, and look where I've landed.
Actually, it could be a new theme for a show for you.
Yeah. It could
Crap
be.
it with Brian.
Yeah. Toilet
There we
time
go.
with BKM.
There we go. Hi, I'm your host, Brian K. Morris.
And the B and the M would be capitalized.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And you can get a little poop Brian with a fez on top.
That's right. And there's a reason why I call myself BKM rather than BM. You know, my grandmother was a nurse. She pointed this out when I was young, and I'm like, oh, I have a middle name, don't I?
See, I was about to do the fancy writer initial thing and be B.A. Rodman, and I was like, it's like I think maybe just B. Rodman or Brian Rodman is fine. We'll just leave the A out of that because otherwise it'd be like, "What's up, B.A.?" It's like, well, you know, I am. What
I
can I
pity
say?
the fool.
Yeah. I get on no damn airplane. You can't make me. I can see that now. This will be great. Yeah, I'm driving to Louisville in July. Shut up, fool. Anyway, I can see it now. This could be good. No, but this was very fun, Brian. I think we ought to do this every time. Every week. Have a question like this. It's very cool. Very, very innovative, I think.
Just like get to know the panel a little bit more.
However, they probably have too much knowledge on at least one of us, so maybe 3.
Well, next week you'll be in your office and we'll be in our bathrooms. So there's that.
Yeah.
I'm holding you to it. I'm holding you to it.
Ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do
Eric's
it.
like peer pressure.
Clyde,
Eric's
are
like
you
peer
out-
pressure only worked on alcohol, not this.
Are you in a grove of trees, Clyde? Yes, I am.
I'm helping
Clyde's
them
like-
grow.
Clyde's like, I'm out in my outhouse. It's got Wi-Fi.
yeah. I was reading this while I was in the two-holer here, and here's how much of it I've used to cleanse myself. You know?
No.
That's where we have the week where we actually review terrible books. You know, I'll give this.
We should
about
actually
45
try
pages.
to pick up a terrible book to review.
Like go out of our way to.
Yeah,
to
see, this
find
one looks
terrible
really
books.
bad.
See,
problem-
and that it'll probably backfire on us. We'll be like, this looks terrible, and it'll be great.
No, actually, I've got some stuff that I got through the Kickstarter recently that were it looked good on paper. It looked good on the Kickstarter. Then I get them, and I'm like, oh God, I've encouraged these people. So, fortunately, not very many. So I stick with my tried and trues, of course. So I know
I gotta say, most of my back projects that I've gotten, I've really liked. I mean, most of them. I mean, I'd say 90% of them. Yeah.
I did until recently. I've just run into a spate of stories that, well, I think the main, if I had to say what did they all have in common, and it's my usual kvetch about forgetting that this is somebody's first comic.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's obvious that the creators have the backstory locked in their heads, but they seem to want to dole it out like it's like it was like the COVID-19 vaccine 6 months ago. Yeah. It's like, exactly, Clyde. You know, it's like, good luck. You know, wait your turn in line. Like I got one. I don't want to out the company. I really don't. Because they do some good stuff. But it's like it was their version of Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's all their characters in one story. And it's all introduce the characters. It doesn't matter what, if they have a reason to be there or not. Don't tell me who they are. Don't tell me what their backstory is. Don't even give me a tagline I can hang any sort of personality to or whatever. But let's have them posture for about 25 pages. And then we'll continue this in the next 5 issues. Well, you'll do so, but not with me. So that's my main thing. You know.
Yeah,
What did I bring down the house?
No, I think you bring up a pretty good important point because, like, especially in indie, like a lot of indie publishers, when I was first starting out, the advice I kept getting was just tell 8-page short stories, just tell 8-page short stories, and I didn't want to do that. Like, I like that advice, and I do think it works, but so what I did, because I wanted to jump in and tell my story memoirs, which is a big epic, 50 issues long, and I wanted to jump in and so I kind of adapted it to where the first 3 issues act as kind of short stories, but they're introducing the main players of the series in their own individual short stories that then intertwine and come together in issue 4 and beyond. And so that, I think, is the best way to do it, but you've got to have some kind of full arc, you know, especially in issue 1. You know, think of it as a season 1 of a show, right? Like you don't know if you're going to get picked up. You know, you got to really, you know, it's got to be a really good, some kind of good storytelling that ends in some kind of resolution. It can still have loose ends that need to be tied up, but it needs.
Mine had a giant loose end.
Well, no, I mean, like, that's fine. So did mine.
Oh no,
I would.
If I could go back, I would probably change it. I would have, you know, I did 20 pages with my first book. I would have done 40 at least, and told more story. And I've been this, especially this past couple of weeks. I've been, you know, trying to fight whether I want to do continuing stories in each issue or just tell standalone stories. Now, especially if I'm putting one out every year. I mean, people forget what happened in the previous issue, so
that's true.
I'm thinking about Yeah.
You can just do what I did. Just start putting out an issue every 4 months and have no life.
I can't do it. No,
I don't remember
I can
my
draw and
friends
color
anymore,
a page. In one of the pages I did recently, I did in 4 hours.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love when that happens.
From
That's like a
pencils
magical.
to, I went, whoa, I'm
Yeah.
done.
You know, you could just go straight to digital and then you just, remove the pencils to inks altogether. You're
Well, I
just
do
like,
it all
"Oh,
digitally.
Oh, look at you then.
Hmm.
All right. Well, all right. Well, then I'll just shut up.
The Far Sector book that I did the review on last week had one of the most creative setups for saying what's come before in a way that didn't take away from the regular story.
Yeah.
They had like a email from the Guardians to another Guardian, and part of it redacted to kind of be like, what's going on over here at this Far Sector, and why is there a Green Lantern there when we did not assign one?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of giving you a little backstory with that, and that's on the inside cover.
Right.
And then in the regular size book, she would take a couple of pages and do something funny to relate just what you needed to know from before. I think she could have condensed it down to one, but like one, she did the character had become romantically involved, the main character, with somebody. So they had like a one-page soap opera of a scene where they're, and it recounts what happened last issue. And it was clever.
Cool.
It didn't take up much space, both of those things. And they did it enough time to keep you up to date on a 12-issue miniseries.
Yeah.
So you couldn't have just jumped in cold, but it reminded you very quickly, oh yeah, I remember what happened last time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
yeah, very cool. Very cool. And William Quinton suddenly looks back at the first 2 comics he's created. Sorry, William. No, yours were good, dude. Yours were good. You gave me enough to hang my head on. And Ted Davies Artistry says, I give this 4 fab flushes. You guys rock. Thank you, Ted. Also, don't forget drinking the
like this one. No, not that page. I left it on a cliffhanger right at the end.
Yes, you did. But gosh, Eric, that story on the right looks good, though.
I found this guy on the street. I gave him a quarter and he wrote me the story.
From his toilet.
His toilet.
Yeah. It wasn't like he bought me for the price of a drink because Eric got it all.
Which issue 3 does not end on a cliffhanger. I mean, there will be an epilogue, but it's the conclusion of the first. It's the first story arc, so it concludes in issue 3.
Nice.
My trilogy. Then issue 4 kicks off a standalone story. I know for sure, and now I'm rethinking 5, 6, and 7. They might be standalone stories.
There you
Even
go.
though I do have a trilogy of stories in my head.
You get around to them, and definitely check out that Kickstarter down at the bottom left-hand corner.
And we're at because I refresh this every 5 minutes. We're at 95 backers, $3,408.26 days ago.
Woo.
Excellent. Let's get them at least 5 more backers by the time tonight ends. So if you're watching us right now, please check out that link down there, and please get that story some love. Honestly, I'm even though I have a story in issue 2, I'm a fan of this book, and I'm a fan of Eric's. It's going to be a great read. Looking forward to issue 3, and I've already backed it. So.
I will tell you, I explained the story to someone at the con this weekend. They have not read the book, but just me describing the story and everything, they knew where the virus came from.
There we go.
They figured, I was like, hey, you're right on. That's it.
Nice.
Buy the book now.
That's right. Yes, if you want to find out if you're right, buy the book.
Yeah.
and as soon as they walk away, Eric goes, "That's a good idea."
I'm going to do that next.
That's better than what I had. Oh, well, I think outside somebody wants to use my broadcast studio. So
just bring them on in.
come on in. Just one hold, no waiting.
Just like a man.
Tell him to hop up and down. That helps.
Yeah,
that's right.
Cross the leg. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is I think we're going to wrap this up here. Thank you to everyone who gave your great comments and your great questions. We love you guys. We appreciate your ongoing support. as always. And so we're going to go around the room here. Please, gentlemen, tell everybody how to stay in touch with all the what you're up to and all the amazing things you're doing, and how people can stay in touch with you. Let's start with the obviously not quite ready yet, Clyde Hall. Sorry, Clyde.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Wait for it. Okay, vamp.
Live from the men's room of the Savoy Hilton in beautiful Buffalo, New York, I am Clyde Hall. You can find me as part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network every Thursday night here on Comic Book Spectrum. And also, if you will look on Amazon, you will find Pulp Reality #1. I have a story in there. My character is introduced, B-Man. He's a new pulp hero. And coming next month, most likely, at the latest, the 1st of June, Pulp Reality #2 with a follow-up story with B-Man. Go to www.stormgatepress.com and you have all sorts of selections, including works by Bobby Nash and Charles F. Milhouse. Also, you can find me on Facebook under Clyde Hall and Facebook under Radiating Positive Vibes with author Clyde Hall.
Fantastic. Thank you, as always, Clyde Hall. You are awesome, sir.
Thank you.
Speaking of awesome, there is...
My turn.
Yeah, anyway, here's Brian Rodman.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, Eric.
So
go for it.
Obviously, you can follow me on Twitter, ES_Hawkins. But more importantly, go back to Zombie for World of Oz issue 3, Dark Side of the Moon on Kickstarter right now. It's fully funded. We've unlocked 3 stretch goals, one of which is a ash can called Zombie for World of Oz Behind the Curtain, which will have all kinds of extra stuff in there, including, like, I will finish these as blueprints for the yellow-bellied plunder kitten. I've got to create the map for the actual city of the Oz. I already have maps done for the entire land, or that's Emerald City. We unlocked an emerald, or not the emerald, but the ruby metal card. These are actually metal trading cards, and
they're neat.
The one that comes with issue 3 will be red in the cover. We've unlocked the extra trading card, which will be the Wizard, which is not pictured in the campaign, but the other 4 trading cards are. I can't post the picture because it might be a spoiler. I don't want to give anything away there. So the next stretch goal is at $4,000. We're almost there. $700, $600 away. And that will be a poker chip, which I've already looked at, and they look really cool with this logo on one side and the Zombie for World of Oz 3 logo on the other side. We go back in today.
Yes, right now. Right this second.
This second, right now. I'm not kidding.
There we go. Yeah,
I'll hunt you down.
There it is. There it is.
Do it.
Yes.
Do it.
Yes. Right
Do
now.
it. You know you want to.
That's right. Look how you're dressed. And there he is, Mr. Urbane, Mr. Sophisticated, the one, the only, Mr. Brian Rodman.
Just doing my best impression of Eric Hawkins.
Were you in that movie Lighthouse?
I'll go on a rant about my farts here in a little bit. I'm Brian Rodman. I am the writer and illustrator of comics like Memoirs of an Angel and The Nebulizer, which is coming out on Kickstarter next month, May 28th. And more on that at brianrodman.com. You can go to brianrodman.com and find me on all my social media as well as Patreon and whatever Kickstarter we've got going on. I am also 1/3 of the Dastardly Dingoes podcast, the show about all things nerdy with Jeremy Woodring and Chad Nuss. So check us out on YouTube. We release a new episode just about every week. And we're up to all kinds of shenanigans on that show. And yeah, that's all for me. Thanks for having me, Brian. It's fun.
Oh, Brian, thank you as always for being on here. Thank you, Clyde and Eric. You guys make this show a joy for me. You really do. So please stick around so I can say goodnight to you all, and I'm going to mute you because I do like getting the last word in. Anyway, but no, I'm Brian K. Morris, who will come to you no matter where I'm at. And anyway, thank you all for watching tonight. Appreciate you being here. Let's get over to where we're supposed to be. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got a full itinerary of shows on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please sign up for our Facebook page. Tomorrow morning, it's going to start at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Central, with the amazing Carl Witzman, who is guest hosting Never Mind the Furthermore. And then we start out the evening with TED Talks, or it's not TED Talks, excuse me, Drinking with the Davies. Maybe I should start drinking. Anyway, Drinking with the Davies. Ted and Chrissy Davies have an amazing new show. Please check it out. It's all about enjoying urbane adult beverages responsibly. And at 7 p.m., Michaela Jade's Tidbits and Scribbles, followed by at 8 p.m., the Historical Fencing Guild with the amazing Nicholas Anthony Talker. Please check out that show. Saturday night will be Joe Dog McKeel and the crew at Stupid O'Clock, and at 10 p.m. on Sunday night, it's Heather Ellen with Comics, Chaos, and Sass. But please take a screenshot of that agenda there and fill your life with entertainment and information from the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Also, don't forget, check us out on Patreon, where you can support our efforts with a modest monthly stipend. It's like a subscription, but you get the glorious results of our creativity before anyone else. We have sneak peeks at our work in progress, also our weekly blog, sometimes more. We just dropped chapter 13 of The Terrors, our upcoming pulp adventure book. So please check out what we have to offer at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. Also next week, please check on my page and Bobby Nash's, BobbyNash.com, because I have a brand new book out called Snow Ambition. Somebody finds a man named James Shepard, who is in reality Abraham Snow. That was his identity when he went deep undercover for 10 years. And this person has a planned that Snow must either walk away from and risk his family's life, or sign up for it and risk his own death for real. Anyway, it's part of the Snow Shorts series, number 4. Check out all of them. Mine will be out next week, Snow Ambition. We think you'll love it. I know I'm fond of it. But anyway, thank you all for being here. And again, one and all, thank you to Plasma Fire Graphics for sponsoring this episode. It's Plasma Fire Graphics when the look of your book matters to you, because it matters to your readers. So please check what all they have to offer you. And I think that's it. So as always, folks, thank you for watching tonight. We hope you have a great rest of your evening. And we'll see you next week on Comic Book Spectrum at 7 p.m., 6 p.m. Central. And so as always, folks, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. See you next week on Comic Book Spectrum No.